MATLAB file or Mat file which has been generated, and then third is a Simulink file. So this Simulink battery library, which I have saved as DSCE batteries, I am using that for further analysis. So for that, I have double-clicked and opened, and this is my battery pack which is being created. So I have named the battery pack as DSCE pack. And you can see the electrical polarity. I don't know if it is clear, but still I will try to
focus it.
Here you can see this is the opposed to pouch type battery. Okay, with electrical polarity, positive and negative. And the dimensions as per what we have mentioned is what is created as the terminal dimensions. And at A and B H ampere H is the thermal code. Okay, because we have enabled the thermal code, maybe I can rename this. So by default, after opening this, this library is logged to everyone. Even MATLAB has logged this. So to access it and use it in some other application which we have created of EV, we have to unlock this Simulink library. So for that we have to just click here, unlock library. So now from here we can copy this, and then we can open a new Simulink page and paste it in here.
Copy put now or
because this is the library, or this is a block, battery block which we have created.
After copying, what we
You can open a new Simulink block, file, and then just paste it. So this will be our source file which we have created. So we will not disturb this. We will not do anything inside this, because this, if you want to modify this or use it somewhere else also, you can keep this as a source file. Okay. Now I have just opened this, and you can see, as I told you, you can see 3 major terminals are there. I'll just move this terminal to the other end so that you can see it clearly. So this is the electrical terminal, this is the terminal port, and this is the output port which we can measure from the battery. One is the current of individual cell, then the number of cycles of each cells, okay, state of charge of the cell, then state of charge of battery assembly module, temperature, voltage, and voltage of the battery assembly. So if you want to measure these parameters, you can use a scope block or display block to do initial level of study. But when it comes to the understanding of state of charge, which is like the level percentage of battery which has been left, we cannot directly measure the voltage and current for the cell, right? Every time when we see the vehicle or when we see our mobile, what we see is the percentage, 80%, 50%. So that is the state of charge. So state of charge is what is the amount of charge that has been consumed by the battery. That's state of charge. And if you want to measure that, we can use the state of charge of cell and state of charge of battery. Now, suppose if I want to measure, use the same process which we have started at the initial level of creating the battery library, battery block initially, I have used the voltage sensor. And I will connect this to the electrical to measure what is the actual output voltage. So, as per our understanding, the output voltage which we have created is around 14 volt for this battery. 14 volt, right? 20 ampere hour, 14 volt. So, totally 20 whatever is our energy. So, our output also should be around 14 volt with certain losses if it is there. Then I will take a scope and use a PS to Simulink converter and we'll connect this, the same process which we have done with this battery cell of 100 volt. Then electrical reference and a solder contact. So just to measure the output voltage, if it is like whatever we have designed, to analyze it, just to run this and see. So we have worked around 70 voltage is what is being mentioned. Ideally we should get 14, right? But there will be some, what do you say, there will be some tolerance value that will be added to this. So the thing is, this is the ideal or the ideal practical value which we are getting, but the ideal value is 14. That's what. So practically we are getting this. So if you want to bring down this voltage, we have to add necessary load to it so that we can bring down this voltage. So that's what we can. Now suppose if I want to show discharge about how we can show the discharge of this forcefully, how we can discharge this battery without connecting to any other sources, is that we can bring in a constant block. Okay.
Except the block as an all of the system.
We can use current control current source. And the purpose of using control current source in Simulink is to make whatever constant value which we are giving in Simulink. So Simulink doesn't have unit values. So suppose if I am giving here say -5. So if I want to make this as -5 amperes, I need to have some source, either a voltage source or so if it is an amperes, it should be a current source. If it is a voltage, it should be voltage source. So since I am trying to forcefully reduce or showing the discharge of the battery from this 17 volt, what I will do is I will take a constant block and I will give the value to be equal to -5. That means I am forcing -5 ampere of current to flow through the battery terminals and then measure the voltage. So here I will use Simulink to PS converter. And then so this way we can show students that how is the impact of current when it is like when we are saying that we want to discharge, that means the current is being, voltage is being reduced. So when we run this and show, then we can see that the voltage is reduced from its actual value is reduced.
No, it's almost 16.74. It is 16.76.
But very small. So current will produce only like that inside our back. Now even in our mobile, the current value, that is where we bring in the principle of CCCV algorithm, constant current, constant voltage algorithm. Because when your battery is dead, first thing is we have to turn on the battery. So to turn on the battery, what we do is we will give a high current initially. So high current initially means it will increase the voltage to a threshold level. Once the threshold level is reached, what happens, we will cut down the high current and then we will go to constant voltage mode. Then the current will reduce. So if I see the graph, it will be like this, increase like this rapidly, then go like this, then decrease. The current will gradually decrease. So this variation I am giving -5 ampere. That impacts only 0.00 some value of the voltage. There will not be a drastic decrease in the voltage unless and until you have a high load device. So that's a, so I just want to show how what is the impact of current that is happening to the battery. That's now to measure the state of charge from the cell, what we can do is we can bring in DMUX. Okay, because when we see the panel or the module assembly, we have 4 modules connected, which means when we see mathematical point of view, it's a matrix of size 2 cross 2. That means 4 elements will be there. So for each tile, if you consider as a cell, each tile that will be considered as one particular unit, then that unit will have its state of charge. The second unit will have its state of charge. Third and fourth will have state of charge. So dimensions are very much important here. So to understand what are the dimensions coming out from each port, so like this is one port. So what we will do is we will go to the debug option and information overlays. Here we have in signals the signal dimension. So if you enable this, we will come to know when you execute this, you will know what is the dimension that is coming out. So based on that, you have to like create your components or your connections in such a way that you meet the dimensions correctly. Otherwise, it will show error.
What is current measurement? That is
All the ports, if I take every port, it will have its own dimensions. So now here you can see 4. So I am dividing the 4 into 2. That's where I am using the debugs. So one will be 2 cross 2, the other will be 2 cross 2. Okay. Now in this parallel assembly, it's 4. Then temperature.
solver. Solver. That's okay.
So this is number of parallel assembly 8 cross 1. You can see this. So this is how we will analyze what are like data, what is the dimension of the data mathematically coming from each port. So now for understanding the SOC, what I will do is I will take the VMAX, okay, and then I will try to connect this to the scope block. And then if I run this, before running, let me change the number of ports and display. And this will be, if I go this as SOC1 and this as SOC2. And now if I run this, so you can see as the voltage discharges, the state of charge of the battery decreases. Now if I change this polarity to positive, but ideally it should not go above the maximum voltage value, but for the sake I am just showing. So to make it more understandable, I will show in a different way, but now I will put it as 5, and then if I increase this, run this, what we can see is that the voltage is increasing. SOC should not go actually below above 100%. So what is shown here is 1 is 100%. Okay, 1 is 100%. It's not given in percentage actually. It's in numerical values it's being shown. So to and make you understand, make us understand that how can we manually reduce the SOC, so that then when you apply or any charge in the battery, how the SOC increases, and so that when the.
Sir, can you once show the full diagram? Sir?
One second.
I missed some.
One second. I will smooth this out.
So from SOC,
Yeah.
what
See, if you remember our configuration, when we made the module assembly, we had 4 module assemblies. Okay? In the module assembly 4. So that is why one I once again show that. Maybe we can relate it better.
Then
DSCE.
Three scopes are there.
Three scopes are there.
Where from where?
One is from G point. This one. Very okay from this one. The other BMX also there.
BMX.
That thing you have to keep here.
Which port?
And from there, so you see some content.
Okay.
And here also so it has changed to 8 into 1. Just check it here.
I'm taking this final pack. Okay, I'm importing this.
He wrote something like 8 into 1.
Sir, 1 minute.
One second.
8 into 1.
It is BMX means like
3, one more line from where it is coming. Both from here only.
So this is the final pack which we have actually created. Okay. So for according to MATLAB, the dimension is 4, which means this is one. Maybe if you treat it as a matrix, you can see this as first column and this as a second column. Okay. In the first column, there are two elements. This is another cell. So 2 over, and this is one cell pattern, so totally 4. But when it comes to the status of analysis, this simulation strategy first will be compressed together. So yes, so one associate will be associated, and for this it will be the second associate. So both are having, since the all other parameters are same, for both the associate will be the same. You cannot bifurcate. You can change the associate provided you have to go inside this block and change the associate. That I will show now.
Why process is not going from
That is what the simulation strategy is. This is one block. One pack. Yeah. This we are replicating 4 times. That's not each cell.
it automatically will come in, the way it's not going. Internet.
Yes, ma'am.
So I don't know, something you did it says
8 into 1 like that, sir.
That is go to debug option. Slow.
But other connections.
You have to connect this also to this. So when you are working with Simscape, you need to have a individual faster network.
Now it will be faster. This way faster. Wait, internet came on. That's why morning it was faster.
Stuck here also.
Now if you want to change the state of charge of your battery pack, which is ideally 100% now, which is as per the design, you have to go inside this block. Okay. So the whatever we have created through battery filter is shown here. So it has the electrical part, the output terminal ports, the terminal. It's 3 divisions. Okay. Now if you want to go and change the state of charge, you have to go to the cell, and here you have to go to the initial parameter and then cell state of charge. By default it is 1. So if you want to force this down, you can make it say, ideally, I'm assuming that my state of charge of the battery is 0.3, that is 30%. Okay. Now, when I am using a charger to charge this, automatically, if this one is 30%, the state of charge has to increase. So that is how we show to the students how the state of charges vary with respect to the charging capacity of your onboard or offboard chargers. So if you are making 0.3 here and here 0.3.
In that signal dimension.
Actually, this EV session normally is a 3-day session. We have just started with the base levels also. So there are many applications to be covered when we have a first level of EV session. But basically model is that it's 160 hours program.
Then
information model is what we have
signal dimension.
Go to signal tools, you can see signals here. In the signal you can see signal dimensions. That you have to enable.
It is coming. Don't slow
Then the second one, if you want to keep it as 100%, you can keep it as such. So the first two cells I have, two pairs I have made the state of charge to be equal to 0.3. The second one I have made it as it is. So second one, when we see the output, it will go above 100%. And first one, it will go from 30% to a higher value. So let's see how if it is working properly. This one, 0.3, it is increasing. SOC is increasing. Okay. So I will give you a correct demonstration, maybe some confusion is here. It's fine, no? So actually, I change inside this here. The battery voltage, when initially the SOC was 30%, you can see the voltage was 14.5, maybe around 14.5, and you can see it was 30%. Now I am increasing or enforcing current to flow through it. That means assuming that it is a charger that is being connected, and this charger is giving new current to this battery. Okay, now what I can see that slowly the SOC is increasing and the voltage is also increasing. That means the battery is getting charged. So what we see in our display, in the vehicle display or in our mobile is not the voltage value, not the current value, it is a percentage. So this is how we show to the students. Then there are many other things like there are algorithms for estimating the state of charge. So like adaptive Karman filter algorithm, then Coulomb counting method, Karman filter methods. So these methods are there. So in MATLAB also we have these blocks called Coulomb. SOC estimators. SOC estimator. This is the block. Now here you can specify the initial the current that is flowing from the battery. Okay, and this is Coulomb method. Okay. And then here you can provide the initial SOC. Externally you can mention what is the initial SOC, or you can take it from here also. And then you can see what is the actual SOC by Coulomb method. So it's a lengthier process. I don't think it is right time to show this. So many things are there to be explained. Then, so what we can do right now is we can take this battery, okay, just control C and go to our initial workflow. Then here we have our battery. So I will remove this battery and I will place this battery here to take some space. Reduce the battery cells. Then connect this to positive, this to negative, and the okay. So now your electrical connection is already established here. So if you want to measure, then from in the other method, when you connect the battery directly, you are not able to calculate the SOC, the current flowing, all these things. Now, if you connect scope and all this scope to all these terminals, you can individually calculate the voltage value. And here, just before I'll connect this out. And then if I run this, so based upon this voltage, what is the output that I saw? That's so. This is how we will replace the battery and show to the students. And then finally, you can enable this. Now I have connected this. You can unconnect this and then show to the students. The 3D simulation. That's it. Same thing, the same output which we saw in the beginning. But here you can see our voltage, initial voltage is very less, so the movement also will be very slow. The velocity will be very slow, and then slowly it will take up the pace. That's it. Now when it comes to, so this is one thing, second is converter design will be there, then motor modeling will be there. So motor already inbuilt toolbox is there, motor and drive system is there, but then if you want to show component level modeling, that what is there inside the motor, then you have to create that with SimScape. Okay, and if you want to show how DC to DC buck converter or boost converter is working, then we have to design that in SimScape now, because from 2025 B version of MATLAB, Simulink power system, specialized power system toolbox is not there. They have removed it and they have completely taken to SimScape working. Okay. So the issue after moving power system is there. So renewable energy, solar panels are yet to be added in SimScale. Maybe in the next version that will be added. So those who are working in renewable energy, solar, turbine and all, wind energy and all, then they have to use the previous version of MATLAB. In previous version it is still available. So this part, to take this battery part and understanding the SOC, the CCCD algorithm, it will take another half day to maybe 5 hours is minimum required to understand. Because we have a lot of components to be added to it. Maybe I can show something which I have done.
Regarding this motor and drive system level is there. Can we modify that controller with different motors?
Yes.
It's available.
Yes.
It's inbuilt.
Yes.
The PLC.
Yes. Every models are available.
Every model.
Let me try to see if I can find something. Now coming to advanced features of it. I think this is now coming to advanced features when we are now in MATLAB, even this is not important to work with when it comes to research level. So when it comes to research level in MATLAB, you have inside the app called virtual vehicle combustion. Okay. So this app is used to already inbuilt vehicles are there, whether it is 2-wheeler, 4-wheeler, and 4-wheeler itself, hybrid system, 2 electric motor, 1 electric motor, 3 electric motor, different models are actually available. So we can build, you need to only change the parameters. You don't have to create a drive cycle, powertrain, nothing has to be done because based upon the architecture, everything is designed actually. So you don't have to work end-to-end with all the design aspect of an EV. So how to do that is like, I'll just give you an overview now because this also will take time, but I'll show how this is set up. So if you are working with a vehicle of 2-wheeler or 4-wheeler, you have to choose accordingly. Okay, and then here there are different powertrain architectures. So based upon conventional vehicle and architecture is shown here. Now, if you are working with electric vehicle with 1 electric motor, then if I select that, you can see the architecture. So battery, the gear system, which this is what we created today. Okay, so if for this, whatever I have shown now is student level. Research level is this in MATLAB actually. And it is, it can be like the data can be analyzed, we can look at it in algebraic transactions, everything is acceptable in this actually. And then if it is like 2 electric motor, you can see the number of tires has changed, the motors, the differentials has changed, the number of motors has changed, and the architecture you can see. So then the model template can be either in Simulink model or in SimScale. So I will choose SimScale model, and The vehicle dynamics can be either longitudinal dynamics only or combined with longitudinal lateral dynamics. Like if you want to have the analysis of both longitudinal and lateral dynamics, X and Y dynamics, then you have to choose that. If you want to work only in the longitudinal dynamics, then you can choose that. So it's upon the application. Then so today this is only an overview, like maybe we can sometime have a detailed session on these areas. So, what we need to do as part of our analysis is to only change the parameters. The standard parameters are given here. So, if you are working with your own vehicle body mass, the differential values, the mass, the vertical distance, axis, all these values, parameters you can change here. Just by changing the parameters, you can change the dimension of your vehicle. Okay. And then, once you complete this, go to the next step, which is the scenario test. Here you have to choose the drive cycle. So, based upon which drive cycle you have to work with. Suppose you are going to test your vehicle in for a manufacturer or a customer who is outside the country, maybe in a colder place. So you cannot build a vehicle or test a vehicle for Indian roads. So you have to understand the drive cycle of that area. So based upon that, you can choose the drive cycle. There are different kinds of drive cycles based upon the locations that is available. Okay. So mostly what we choose for Indian standard, as per Indian standard is FDP 72 or FDP 72. Indian testing range. So you can select that, then the driver mode you can select, then here by default what all parameters we will be testing is shown on the right side. Okay, like your battery SOC, battery voltage, battery current, the body frame, velocity, acceleration, in XYZ direction, then driver feedback, steering feedback, acceleration feedback, deceleration feedback, gear feedback, all these parameters can be analyzed. Fuel economy, everything can be analyzed based upon. And if you want to have further data to be analyzed, you can export it from the left side to the output side. So, like if you want to work with IMU or the rear suspension or the chassis, or if you want to work with maybe more data about battery sense, BMS sensors. So just by clicking this, you can select and take it to the other side. So whatever necessary information you want to analyze, you have to select from the left portion of the data to the right side, and which will become as a signal output signal. So from this, then you can virtually build your vehicle. So this is purely research point of view. So let it come out. And also in EV, there is another application. So I am making just showing all the applications so that we can work on. And I will also tell what are the courses we have to do in MATLAB as part of this Canvas-wide license program, so that we will be like good in certain applications inside there. Not 100%, but there will be some applications which we can easily work with and modify it. So this is another app which is called driving scenario. You want to test your vehicle, you have to add sensors to your vehicle. That is done through the driving scenario. I'll show that also. All these apps will take some time. So this is the virtual vehicle model that is being created. We will have the scenarios here. So the scenario is created through the scenario driver scenario app. Okay, here you can create your road, your terrain, you can add sensors to it. Okay, and then this is the environmental conditions, like what is the road condition, what is the atmospheric conditions, the wind condition, the drag condition. All this is provided, is known by the given through the environmental block. And this is a driver command where you give acceleration, deceleration, brake, gear shifting, etc. Okay, and this is a control. So if you can go in depth to this, in detail to this, inside this block you can see what are controllers are there. So it takes a lot of time for an EV engineer to work, creating Simulink model. That's why they have curated into an application, so that people can modify and work with it. And also they can take this and create their own Simulink workflows. It's not locked actually. And if you run this, so FDP 72 and 74 will have a runtime of 2474 seconds by default. So that is the number of, like, the time duration for testing. Let it run. So this is the driver scenario design which we can design. We can create your road. So for adding a road, what we can do is we have to select the road, keep it the points here. I'm sorry. So I think it is another one. Slow. Just give me some time. Let's finish. So while we execute this virtual vehicle, 12 parameters has to be verified by MATLAB. So they will create its final C code and then only we will see the output visible. So 12 parameters, each parameters will be verified step by step. time I will show you. So when you go inside this visualization, and here you can see all the corresponding. So whatever signals we have taken in the last step, that will be shown in the So the battery started with a SOC of 60%, and then with this you can see as it is delivering, accelerating, you can see that the SOC is slowly increasing. So to create the row, we have to add click to add row, then click anywhere on this domain, and then move your cursor like this. A random canvas can be created.
This road is a plain road or a terrain?
It's a plain surface.
Different terrain we can.
This, like this we can create. So different terrains to be created, that I have not worked in that aspect. But this is how we will
It's just a part.
which we are creating for testing the vehicle. Now then to bring your vehicle into this. So we can add the vehicle like this. So the vehicle is added here. Okay. And now to assign the path to which the vehicle has to move, you have to like set the trajectory. Like we have to say that this vehicle has to go like this, then from this point to this point, then from here to here, then. So just assign the points for the motion, forward motion, so that it takes the path. So that it doesn't go outside the path. Maybe it comes and see. So that's it. So the path for forward motion will be created. Now what we have to do is we have to add sensors to this. Okay. So for adding sensors, like you can, if you want to add cameras, you can add camera to this. So we add camera. So I am adding leader, maybe another leader over here. Then to add a camera, I can add a camera here.
This vehicle can be the same thing that you built in the app before?
Yes. So whatever you have created in the virtual vehicle composer, that has to be taken to this, imported to this. Since I have not completed that, I am showing separately how to create a So that is only just the vehicle, we are not adding any sensors onto it. And vice reversely also we can do, because the scene can be created here and it can be taken to the virtual vehicle composer. There are also some sensors if you want, you can add sensors. Like this. So whatever sensors is required, you can add to this, and then you can run this and see, and all the data will be taken from this. The position, the speed, every data will be taken. And if you want to view this in 3D, then after the simulation I can show that also. So additional toolboxes are not required. Like I have initial design, added simulation 3D, vehicle, simulation, scene, all this is not required. In one app itself we can read all this data. Now you can add multiple vehicles to it, then based upon the radar positions, the vehicle can take the path. So if you are working with any unmanned vehicle, robotic devices, then you can use this app. Just stop in that position. And whatever parameters which we are supposed to get, it can be evaluated. The maximum range, everything will be evaluated. Now, if you want to show this as a 3D simulation, the same. The path will be created. Whatever we have got in 2 dimension, we can create that in the same.
Where do you define the speed?
Sorry?
Speed of the vehicle?
Sorry?
Speed of the vehicle.
Calculate, do we calculate, right?
Yes.
So that we will get in the workspace. One second, I'll show you. that three-dimensional view of the world is being created. So this also depends. The other one was straightforward. This is one which we have created. Many students will like all these things to understand. So maybe in detail what we can go further is to work with the battery management system, SOC estimation, CCCV algorithm. So all this understanding of the battery, thermal management, all this we have to have a better understanding after creating the battery pack. So that maybe we can have sometime later or after session or a full day session, we can have later if it is required. But then in MATLAB itself we have, as I think most of you know, that there are self-paced courses in MATLAB, online courses in MATLAB. So you have to log into your domain ID and then search for, in the browser itself you can search for MATLAB on-ramp or OTS. So there are totally 111 courses in MATLAB in different domains. Okay, and out of which 25 courses are basic courses, on-ramp courses that anyone can do, irrespective of the branch. Everyone area anyone can do, but remaining 85, 86 courses will be branch specific. Okay, and to understand, or if you are interested in electrification, then there are 8 courses in electrification. Okay, there you will have to, mostly if you want to work with battery, you will have to understand on Simscape battery. So Simscape, after working with Simscape battery, then battery pack modeling, that is what we have done in battery builder, then battery estimation. So here we will study all the different methods of state of charge, Coulomb coupling, advanced Kalman filter, all these methods will do. And then power electronic simulations and power system simulation. So when we take this to students also, these 5 courses are very much important. Okay. And this is self-paced course. You can start. Mostly every courses will be like 1.5 to 2 hours. But it's not necessary that you have to sit and do 1.5 hours or 2 hours. You can stop it somewhere, then restart from where you have stopped. So finally, after completing any course for that matter, you will get a course completion certificate like this, and this is accepted globally. Okay. And if you are looking into AI workflows, then AI and statistics language courses are there. So machine learning, deep learning, all different algorithms, regression, classifications, everything is there in this. So this is task-based course. So every course will have its brief outline, the content, and then the task will be given. So maybe students can take it as an activity where you can give activity points as well. So that is the base level thing which I have to further there are many things, but then I don't have time to do.
Next step to be MATLAB, can you share the
That is
link for the course?
Oh, so just we have to go to the no, MATLAB, we can search for MATLAB OTS. OTS, online training suite.
That is free for everyone.
For as part of campus-wide license, those who are having campus-wide license, it will be free.
Students,
For students also it will be free. For faculty also it will be free.
they have to log in.
They have to create their domain with their domain mail ID. They have to create their account in MATLAB, and then they can use this. But if institutions are not having campus-wide license program, but they can do the basic 25 online courses. That is open to all.
You cannot go with the person, if I don't have that institution, I want to do it personally, can we go with that?
2%.
2%.
Each course is having, I think, around 15 to 20,000 is the separate course.
So what is the scope for this, suppose if they pay and do this course?
See,
Apart from the, just for a basic skill analysis. So if they have to pay and what is the scope for this?
scope is that there are many things added to it. So if you are working in MATLAB normally conducts hackathons across India, and students like now upcoming aero defense hackathon is going to happen in the month of April. So I think I can even show you that. Let's just give it time. Some webinar is, so the thing is, these students can participate in these competitions, one thing. Second is, there are set of projects that is given by MATLABs. So the MATLABs, they can log into the projects of their domain, and then they can complete the project with the support of MATLABs team. Third is those students who are coming top 3 position. I think in Dayananda itself, one team were selected. I think first position, second position in the hackathon, and they got internship opportunity for 6 months. Normally, getting internship is very difficult in MATLABs, and they take freshers normally from tier 1 IITs and IITs as campus placement. But the other possibility is by students actively participating in this hackathon competitions. They can get through this internship, and it's a paid internship for the students. They will be getting around 30,000 per month, and after that it will be actually normal absorption into the company. So every year 10 to 15 students across India come as internship and go as a full-time employee in MATLABs, because MATLABs has 3 offices in India: Bangalore, Pune, Delhi, and here also around 600 engineers are working. And it's not really limited to core domains. Back-end developers are there in computer science and IT languages. So this course is having, because you can be there is a certification. Apart from this, there is MATLAB, you can be a MATLAB certified trainer. So for that there are exams that is happening. But that is in like $260. You can be a certified Simulink expert, you can be a certified SimScape expert and professional expert. So many options are there. Now for students to faculty to work in research domains in MATLAB, you can search for MATLAB project. So this is the challenge project page. So here you can get the ideas. It goes to the GitHub page of MATLABs, and you have this domain technology trends given. If you are interested in AI, autonomous vehicle, big data, computer vision, all this, then you can go inside. For autonomous vehicle, you can go inside this, and different problem statements are being given. And you can, like, if there's a team of students who are really interested in working with the projects, then you can sign up with a team leader and a mentor, faculty member, and then the entire guidelines will be given, which all toolboxes has to be used, what is the project objective, what should be the outcome, and they will review it. And if they really like the workflows which they have implemented, then they will take it to the national level competition. And the first prize is like $1,000. First, then 500, then 300. So, a lot of opportunities are there, but we are not like able to capture certain things. Then math was also supported in terms of resources in different domains. So when I can show that, we have modular coursewares. So one such on ED I have just shared to HOD sir. So when it comes to so for the electrical, what we normally see is we are trying to implement MATLAB workflows as an additional, maybe if it is not there in the syllabus, we start with this circuit analysis, network analysis, all these theorems, and then we'll take them to power electronics, power system, control system, some power portion of machines. One and two, one sub portion can be done, two cannot. I don't think now machines is not that like when we used to study the separate machines, one machines two. It's now not there in the syllabus. Then advanced features like this e-mobility or drones, UAV, renewable energy. These are the area where electrical, mechanical students. Then another advanced feature is an architecture which is known as system composer. So in industry, major automobile and this aerospace industry, now they are looking engineers who are known as systems engineers. Wherein like we have heard of data analyst or system analyst in IT companies, likewise business analyst in IT companies, likewise in core industry they are looking for systems engineers, where they build the architecture of the entire model to be created in one system composer app. So that's also there. So many advancements are happening, and now 2026 B version or A version Copilot on Simulink is also coming. So till now Copilot on MATLAB was there, was scripting language, so it was easy for mathematics and work. So any code we can access, or if you are having doubt, we can even on browser we can use MATLAB AI chat playground. So it's an AI for MATLAB scripting language. So you can prompt anything you get and you will get a corresponding code. You don't have to write it. So here you can prompt, you can like many options are there. You can chat with the MATLAB team, you can write, you can create, if you are creating your own script, you want to verify, modify, you can copy paste in this portion, or you can prompt it. So you can like prompt it, create like script for sum of two numbers. Just answer this. Just if you do. It will be generating the code. So now likewise for Simulink, in 2026 A version it is to be released. So because now Simulink is slowly getting updated. So that's why they have released it. Now Simscape is into timeline. Simscape will not come in another 5 years. This AI. So this is a script and you can like run over here and see the output. And if you have your own script, you can just copy paste here. If there is any error, MATLAB will show you that and then you can modify script to be done. So all these are advanced features. Thank you. So I will share this slide deck also to them so that we can share it with the PPT.
On behalf of the Department of EEE, I would like to thank you, sir, for delivering such an informative and engaging hands-on session on EV modeling using MATLAB Simscape. The practical insights, modeling strategies, and simulation techniques you demonstrated were extremely valuable. Participants especially appreciated the clarity with which you explained complex concepts and guided us through real-time implementation. Your session has significantly strengthened our understanding of electrochemical modeling and inspired us to explore further applications in this domain. We sincerely appreciate your support and hope to host you again in the future. Thank you so much, sir. Now I would like to welcome the head of the department to deliver the memento and the letter of appreciation to the resource person. Join for the group photo.
Yeah.
And after this tea break, one more session is there.
No, we last episode here, so.
Yes, that is right.
Yeah, so don't leave, so be here, so the next speaker came, we will continue.
I put some more
Thank you.
Will you be seated? The team is served.
Now we just post a message, all our faculty, this is.
In the field that you are preparing the report, so we need to take the Paris session. So from what
Sir, it's there in that responses. Like when I shared your right, in that each day response when you click there, you can see response in the tab. There you can see the bar graphs.
Internet is required.
Yes.
We have our resource person, Sushma, Lingaraj, student counselor, life coach, DSI, to deliver a session on resilience to stress. Sushma Lingaraj is a motivational speaker, trainer, career counselor, life coach, and soft skills consultant specializing in business communication, leadership and management, and personality development. With a strong understanding of the rights essential for workplace success, she is dedicated to train students and professionals to enhance their interpersonal communication and leadership abilities. Since 2020, she has been providing training, coaching, and consulting services to individuals and groups, helping them achieve their soft skill goals more effectively and efficiently. Now, I would like to invite the head of the department to welcome the resource person with the sample. I kindly request Mark to take organization.
So good afternoon everyone present here. Myself is Sushma Lingaraj. So I heard that you all are continuously going through this series of programs, faculty development programs since a week. So it's like that strictly told me that strictly in the sense like 4:30 you have to wind up because if they are tired, and trust me, before winding up the session, before you leave from the session, you'll be happy. That's gentle smile will be there. Can assure you on that. So it's already the time is 3:40 to 4:30. Have to wind up. So today is your last day or tomorrow? Tomorrow is the last day winding up the session. So the topic is resilience to stress. I want the session to be interactive. So, what do you mean by stress? What sort of stresses you come across? So, I hear from you that what do you mean by stress? Before answering, please you all just shuffle with your places, change your places. Change your places if you can. Leave your laptops. If you want to record something, you want to take down something, nothing, then you can change your places. So, yes. So one by one. It's okay, it's okay. Yeah, they've changed from here to there. I'll make you move, no, don't worry. So, one by one, with introduction of yourself. So, as I asked, what do you mean by stress? What's the perception of yours on stress? So, I just want you to hear from you. So, your introduction, then the perception on stress. Okay. So,
Handling multiple tasks at the same time, so that I feel stress.
okay.
Kind of operational stress. It's not that one at a time. It's a whole family and academics and administration. So that I feel is stress. In my point of view, it's stress.
It's stress.
Handling multiple tasks in the same time.
Handling multiple tasks at the same time. Okay. So,
My name is Dr. Counsellor. In my opinion, stress is like
louder, sir. I think it's audible.
time without in a time bound. Handle some task in a time bound. That is stress in that part.
Okay.
Suppose a time limit that we have to finish this class, it will be also appear like this or anything like that.
That is a stress. So if you are stressed about the limits, if there is a border, like if a set time, in that time, if you are getting that, you feel that it is stress for you. Okay. Boundaries, I can tell, boundaries or, sir.
In Dr. Bhatt, my opinion on stress is support of the mind makes the mind. It's like a deadline has been given, we can that some task has to be completed, but the clarity of the work during that time, and when multiple people involved to complete that work, even if one of us is not able to complete, finally the person will be responsible for that and take the burden of that. So that automatically will be the stress.
Okay. Sir.
My name is Rahiman. Suppose if anything is happened, it might be positive or negative. Suppose if you think deeply into the picture, then I feel stress.
Whatever it is, thinking deeply into those things. You know that it's not mandate to think on that, but still you keep on thinking, that makes you stress. Fine, ma'am.
Myself Shweta. When I have a set of tasks to perform, but due to some or the other reasons I was not able to do all the tasks, then I feel stress.
Okay, stress happens. So,
Myself Ganesh. So actually when it comes to professional, personal, any other things, so we'll be doing the work whatever we have that time. But when time comes to manage both, so that we should focus either on profession, person or my say some research. So all together we won't be able to manage because all together have to do it. Maybe lack of time or maybe more work within that 95 or even 95. So when I don't able to manage it, so I will go under stress. I feel so.
sometimes you know both tasks are
Yes,
clear, so
yes.
clear, nice for you.
I can do. I'm able to do it. But take this time. I will focus. So that could not supporting me.
Okay.
So that time, what I felt in recent times, what I felt.
Fine. So,
Sir, here,
Anything that can get you worried in the stressful.
Whatever it is, puts you in a, like rooted, like worrying or killing your time, killing your mental health, this is stress. Fine.
Myself, time management is stress.
Time management.
Now, it's the time we need to complete the work, we are not possible to complete the work because of somebody, otherwise we need to showcase the same thing to the family also. If we are involved in the economics, we are not, within this program we are not completing the work, we need to showcase the stress to the family, we are not managing the both things.
Okay. Done.
So the already Sagar said, so one is the time management, another one multitasking. So multitasking, before the meeting they give us another work. So actually every day is happen, not only for single day. In entire semesters or like that, you are working also, the task will be complete before completion, next task will be assigned. So currently we are running on the task. So that by the way, so another one very set point by this. So I think that the coordination among the colleagues is also important for this stress. Because if you are taking any important work for our coordinations, we need to support from some others. If we are lacking, we need to answer for that question also. That question is what will be happening. Because we are the main goal. That is also making
Stress. Thanks. Man.
According to me, the stress can come in personal life also. The stress can come in academics and
work life.
So if we are experienced starting with it, but after that when we are used to, when we are age of 40, the stress will already reduce because we are experienced. Even in workplace also, it's not that we can't handle or do something like that. Yes, we can handle it. We have to make ourselves to be happy first. We should love our work. Then automatically
everything falls in place.
Even the personal life is also same. You should not expect anything from anyone. Neither in profession, neither in personal.
I love the word of using this love. Very important for this topic of resilience to stress. Super. I just coin it in a different way.
Shruti, like anything beyond our tolerance.
Okay.
It's a stress.
Beyond our tolerance.
Okay.
It's a stress. Yes.
To come out of that, just think of the worst situation. What if?
Okay.
So automatically stress comes back.
Nice.
The last minute preparation towards the must lead to stress.
Preparation of completing anything leads to stress. Fine.
For myself, currently, maybe everywhere multitasking is at home also, here also, but before completing, as I said, one task will come. Stress. So when we complete, other will be given. So that is somewhat not good and not means that is not stressful. That is stressful.
Okay, now.
My name is Dayananda. According to me, whether it's a small task or a big task, I always overthink. Other than doing that, I think. So that brings more stress to me.
So, now.
I think many of them have told. What I feel is the work which is done which I don't want to do, that leads to a stress. That is, if I like the work, that is any time I can manage. If I don't like the work, that leads to a stress.
But still you will be able to do it.
Yes.
We have to do it.
I'm Dr. Shweta. So as Atira voted, even I wanted to say the same thing. So when we voting on certain situation, then the things will get out of our control. So whenever it is getting out of our control, then anxiety and stress comes.
Myself, Dr. Lingaraj. Stress is nothing but how you handle the situation. Whenever situation comes, if you can handle at a specific point of time, you won't feel stress. If you can't able to handle it,
it is
out of our body.
Intolerance happens. Fine. Now.
Stress depends on our mindset. If you think that we can do it, we can do it. Yeah, like sometimes we will be giving the reason as a stress if you are not able to do it. But we can handle both personal and professional. It's all about our mindset.
So that is like, no, the question is like, what is stress?
Stress is like, it's just take our individual perspective.
Yes, in your perception.
No, ma'am, nothing can be more difficult one. Everything you can manage.
What is the most stressing?
Okay. So we all spoke about this so-called, how many times we have used this word called stress? How many times might be? No, now I just got this moment. Maybe everybody take a count like 15 to 16, 17 times, including my voice of telling stress, 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 we have heard it. And today before going to bed also you will hear that stress. And back of the mind stress will be on. And when you were able to describe all your stresses, the word, what you gave, the meaning in your own perspective, that stress. You are able to identify your stresses, right? We are in the mode, or we have grown up adults, so-called grown up adults. We know how to handle these stresses. Firstly, before handling, we know how to identify those stresses. That's what your aim is. If you are not able to, if you people were not in the position to identify what your stresses are, trust me, you wouldn't have been come here. You wouldn't have been developed till now what you have got in life. So it's a simple concept of resilience towards stresses. First and foremost is we all have to understand ourselves. What are we? What are our strengths? How is our physical health how we all are taking care of our physical health? How we all are taking care of our mental health? How we are able to coordinate with this mental health and physical status? Happening all these things when we consider that yes, this is my stress, also trust me, there is already resilience built inside you. So before going to the doctor, we get to know that what are we facing. Like if I am having a fever, I can go and get him tell him that yes, I am having a fever, so he can give a right medicine. So you know when you are able to identify your stress, tell to your conscious that this is what happening, how can I come out of it? That is what your conscious is going to give you a right direction towards to deal with such kind of stresses. So it's all, resilience is all what we build by taking the support of others, maybe your friends, maybe your loved ones, maybe your colleagues, maybe whoever the people around you who is going to support you, by taking all the support. By using your mental status, we all are going to, we should and we are building the resilience to move on. Though no matter what the stresses we are having, we are here today. Back of the mind, many people are thinking about a number of things on your mindset, back of the mind, but still you are sitting here. It's not a stress, right? I'm not good from, I'm already bored. We are just in a mode of like winding up. But still, that's also stress, but you are maintaining it. So the stress, the resilience to stress is all within us. So stress is nothing but when your mind tells that take a break, that's it. Stress is what? You don't, whenever you come across stress, what is it? You don't have clarity. When a person, when an individual don't have clarity, there where stress comes in, takes a part. When you don't have clarity, there where every dilemma starts and you're not able to focus, and you don't have clarity and you don't know how to make your things happen. And many of you told about multitasking and work-life balance and everything. And many of you told that some stresses we are going to invite to the family people there. Mindfully you all think that we all have stress busters. What are your stress busters? You all spoke about stress, right? The basic thing is, I'm going to hear you, make you hear a beautiful song, okay? Music is the universal healer. You all know that. How many of you spend time listening to the music at least 5 minutes in a day? Of your own, maybe instrumental, maybe vocal, whatever it is. It's also a basic universal stress buster. Physical exercises. And simple walk. Okay, simple walk. And be silent without doing nothing, without doing chatting, nothing, talking, nothing. Be silent. And in my sessions, in all of my sessions, I just tell that it's called as me time. It's very important to come out or to build this resilience for stress. You get the clarity. For sure, this fogging of mental health will never happen. And there is always two sets of conscious working within us. That is main conscious and subconscious. This conscious doesn't, whatever you give, it's going to take. Take and reject, conscious does. And what the subconscious do is, whatever you tell, it's going to just accept it. If I'm feeling this task is stress, your subconscious is taking that. And your behavior will be towards in the same way. Towards the task, your behavior will also be in the same way. So please be mindfully reacting towards your own life. If you are able to take care of your own self, your mental health and physical health, especially mental health, your physical health can be taken care of. And also your loved ones, maybe your partners, maybe your kids, maybe your parents, trust me, they will be also taken care. You try to take care of yourself first. Priority in your life is you. So ultimately, when you take care, when you just gather all these things and you work towards your life will be beautiful. And any stress, these stresses are common. And these things happens for us itself, not for the birds or trees or animals outside. Because they are social beings. It's a common thing to happen. The stress. It's a common guest. What is we all do when a guest comes in? We shut the door. Is it able to go? Why because we are not prepared? What do we do? What do we do? So everybody get up now. So get up. Keep your phones and everything down. Be free, relax. Keep moving, keep moving. Don't try to judge. Be careful. Please be free. Keep moving. Please be aside. And please be aside. Keep moving. Keep moving. Keep moving. And shake your friends and keep shaking hands to your friends. Keep shaking hands or wave. Shake hands. Wave. Don't gather there, please. Shake hands. Okay, stop. Stop. Okay, everybody stop. Okay? Move. Yes. Yes. Keep moving. Stop. So when I tell you to stop, you have to move now. Got it? So vice versa. Stop. 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 Opposite direction. Move. You don't have to move. And come and take the seats where it is now. Take the seats there. Okay, then the sitting whatever is there, that is us. What was that? Fine. So how are you feeling? I was able to see all your laughing and white teeth shining. So how is it? Just getting from the pace and moving on. So it's a simple concept. When you are walking on the road, if you are having some hurdles or something, what do? You just stop there. You just are sitting in the same place. And the sir is also sitting in the same place. It's okay. So in generally, if we are walking, for example, here on the door or whatever it is, if in the steps, some coffee or milk, whatever it's spilled, what do? We just stop there. Why it has been spilled? What to do now? Can I walk or what? Jump or what? What do? You just stop, or you think of multiple things to come out of that. Finally, your mind prepares or gives you ideas how to overcome that. Or you will call a housekeeping person to clean it, or you jump a step ahead. And whatever it is, you just think. In the same way, if you come across any sort of hurdles, trust me, you are able to deal with that. Only thing is take a pause, breaks, move. Take a pause, breaks, move. Okay? Let me start this presentation or song, whatever it is, by telling a small story. There will be a king in a village and there will be a poor person in a village, right? So the king will be living this part of the city and the poor person will be this part of the city. Any guesses?
this one, perspective. Achieve what is it, and the poor wants to.
The king, as he is a king, he just wants to take a look towards the city and he just comes around. So when he was coming, he just accidentally sees the poor person. And to their surprise, both of them were classmates in Gurukul. Okay, so the king was very sad by seeing the poor person. Why you are like this? I'm very happy, I'm very sad by seeing your condition. You please come and meet me tomorrow before the sunset. And the poor person was very happy by hearing the king's words and friend's words, and he remembers, oh my friend, even now being a king, he remembered me. So finally, the king left and the poor person went to the house and telling his wife that, see, I met a friend like this and he's a king and he's invited me tomorrow. So all our problems will be sorted. So the wife will also be very happy, and the next day comes in. So wife is so supportive. She tells to the husband that it's already time and the sun has risen. You please get up and start your journey because it's already from here to there. You have to reach, time's up, you get up. So this person tells, no, I'm not able to get up now. I'll sleep for some time and I'll have my breakfast, then go. So okay, this lady prepares everything. After eating the breakfast, he said, my tummy is full now, I can't go, I'll just sleep for some time. And by the time it's already noon. So again, this person, the wife, gives her alarm, please get up, it's time. Oh, he just goes out and see now the sun is very high and it's so sunny, I can't take my steps now. So again, he just waits for evening and he starts his journey at the evening, packing food. In the mid of the journey, what happens? The packed food, what he had bought from this wife, he makes snacks, he had and he sleeps there. And by the time he got up, it was already, the sun was setting, half. So he was rushed to the palace, but still he reached, it was already late. The doors of the palace was closed. So what do we learn from this? Laziness, procrastination, negligence, missing the opportunities. There were three characters here: the king, the god, and she was the one who played a major role. A supportive. Okay, sometimes in our life, in most of our lives, we all have the support system. As a friend, as your parent, your guide, or whoever it is, your kids. Okay, so when you come across any sort of, this was one of the we know what habits we have to change. You all spoke about any number of stresses, right? To overcome that stress or to build the resilience, we all know that what habits of us has to be changed. Maybe for some people, health is a priority. Though whatever they do, those things will not be working out. But still, multiple ways are there. We have to keep on trying. For some people, time management. The first thing is to maintain time is, trust me, if you set an alarm clock in the night, you get up in the morning at 5 o'clock, without snoozing, you have to get up. If you snooze, gone case. Where will you learn about time management then? That's a basic step. So, it's all the mental health, physical health, whatever the stress is, it's all in our hands, and that one support system. If you don't have, that's totally fine, you be the support for yourself, but when you have, take that. Sometimes when you hear some good things about, when people are telling you, if you're going like this, do like this, or something like that, take those things. Don't feel that superior or inferior, those such kind of things in you. Learning is from everyone. So resilience, how is immunity for our physical health, resilience as for stress, we all have to build it. So be role model for yourselves. When you stand in front of the mirror, you should be a role model for yourself. You all have achieved any number of things. Though and whatever the issues you had in your past or whatever childhood or whatever it is, till now you have come here, you have reached this journey. Super job it is. From my end, applause for all of you. Give applause for yourselves. Because without you, your life is zero. So your life is only you what matters here. So this stresses is a common aspect. As we all fall physically ill, it's common thing to fall mentally ill as well. As we go to the doctor, take medicines and settle, rest for physical health in the same way. If you are feeling stressed, take a break. Pauses, move. Take a break, pauses, move on, start your journey. But after the break, come back. You want to change your hairstyle, change. You want to change your attire, you want to go for shopping, you know what are your stress buses. One might be going for temples, one might be going for movies or something. Go for that. When is it?
They are going for shopping.
After this is it? So first after tomorrow. Good job, sir. Shopping. Okay. So done. So let's go with this now. I'm so much bothered about the time because 4:30 is in my mind. So I have to finish this. I'm not taking, no. I should not feel that you people should not think that this lady came, but she's still eating. From morning we are bothered and this lady is eating our head. I should not make you feel that, so that I'm bothering. I am just thinking on that, that's it.
As of
Because
anything non-technical,
super. Non-technical is super, fine. So we
One thing FDP on only stress management.
evening sir, evening stress. Sound will come. I said this because sound will not. Sound is there. Sound is there. Sound was there. No, we said that speaker is not.
by the time I just is that song to play
Speak coming from here.
Okay, by the time. And please don't mind, this is one-sided use sheets, okay? And sorry, I'm not able to give you a kaju katli, it's just a prepare. Just pass it. For each one of you, for each one of you can take each.
You are direct like you.
How many we have to keep? No papers. No, not that one.
I thought you were not.
Okay, by the time the two kaju katlis what you are having with you. I'm not going to tell you it in one sheet. Yeah. I think one side is usable, right?
Yes.
Okay. In one sheet, a small sheet, I wanted to all to make a different shape, whatever it is, using that small one. Two sheets you have, right? Using one paper in that, you have to make whatever shape you like. Yes. Yes, not right. You have to make it. It is not going to be. You sit here. I might require one, or you can sit here. Okay? No, completely you do it. Don't be multitaskers now. Then I just make you to listen to the song.
Have a check.
I've checked, yes. Fine. Done? Okay. Remember your childhood days, your school days. Okay. So now here is a beautiful song. I just want you all to just be yourself and see this sort of sessions is a stress buster sessions. Life skill sessions is all about stress buster sessions. And be you, be real you. Okay, be flexible with your mind and body. No tightness, nothing. Relax. This is a relaxing sessions. So listen to the music and let me have a word after this song. Everybody who is listening. My music and singing is I hope you all went through those words. Yeah. Life has a way of rewarding those who never stop believing in what believing in you. Next please. Okay. What were the catchy words here in the song?
Good things
Stay time. Yeah.
Keep learning.
Keep learning. Keep growing.
Listening to own path.
Dreaming.
Listen to your heart. Listen to your
Listen to your heart. Yes.
Create your own journey.
Darkness into sunshine. Yeah.
Create your own journey.
Create your own journey.
No regrets.
No regrets. Super. Yes. So believing. Few words. Huh?
True to yourself.
Be true to yourself. Yes. Ma'am.
Everybody to
Same words. This is one of the resilience song. To maintain your calm whenever you feel stuck. See, stress is something makes you stuck, right? So when you want to come out of that stuck, as I told, these are all the resilience techniques. On music, what sort of music? Not tapanguchi, something like that. It is going to enhance your strength again. So some songs or some words suits your mind and soul. This is where a beautiful sort of examples of resonance songs. Music, I can tell. So as I told, music is the best healer. Try to make a practice of listening to music at least 5 minutes after the bed or before going to the bed. And journaling. I'm not telling to take a book, take a pen and write. Consciously also you can just close your eyes and visualize that you're writing. Right? And if you have a habit of taking a diary and pen it up, yes, you can do it. But when you can't, just don't go like that. Everything sort day by day. If you're not able to sort what happens, baggages happens. Baggages itself is going to create stresses. So multitasking, coming to the point of multitasking and everything, understand that is this task able to do for you. Sometimes some situations makes you that you have to do. When anything coming to your path, trust me, why it comes to you because you are able to do it. That there where the universe puts those things for your place. Simply you will not get those things on your table. You are able to deal personal life or professional life. You are able to deal. That's what we are so called as humans. Universe has created a lot of thinking abilities. Using this thought process, how you progress on your life matters. Let's start with this. So everybody get up and come back to your normal places. With your beautiful shapes what you are making. You can just
I was trying, but I couldn't do.
I always believe in reading books, and reading enhances knowledge. So what sort of reading? Choice is always yours. What you pick and read? As I told, we all have a chance to make our life beautiful. Only thing is, we have to pick it up. We have to make a proper choice of utilizing this chance. So, as we all have got these chances, the choices we forget to choose wisely. So make it a habit of choosing properly by using this beautiful chance of being a human. So reading, don't take it as PPT presentation or something. Make sure that, as I told, these sessions is only you being you, that's it. Take it as a virtual reading, you're reading a small book there. Got it? So it's times always in between. If I want to talk about certain things, I will put up my voice here, or else you and the page is there. So this picture here, when you see the scenery or pictures or directly in the green or whatever it is, what happens to your mindset?
The whole world is helping the one small thing to grow.
Okay. Hope. Yeah, okay. Calm, first and foremost is calm. When you see the nature, fresh. Then pleasant. Okay.
Realization that I'm alive.
Okay.
No obstacles to stop me.
No obstacles, there is nothing can stop me. No matter whoever tells whatever it is, maybe your partner, maybe your parents, your fellow colleagues there, whoever it is, You know what you are from inside, then why do you bother? Move on. See, if you want to grow, that strong ability of yours will that no matter what, the sun is there. Sun is what? Universe. Think it as a universe. Almighty, if you can call, is always there to support for us. If we have that one, I can tell like fire in the belly. If you have that, universe always stays with you and no stresses matters. You can deal with those stresses, you can move on. So here, resilience to stress starts. Next step. Managing stress and building resilience. In each pages, I put a beautiful sceneries there. Just go through the sceneries and also enjoy reading. Observe the scenery, imagine if you are there with your family or whatever it is, imagination is all yours. So next time onwards I request you to leave at least 3 hours. But you are agree with me for some kind of sessions? Next time, next one. Closely you can just go through that. As I told, no, if there is no one to support you also, you stand to support for yourself. Resilience for yourself first. As I told, you don't have any best fun to share anything. You don't have any sort of good people around you to share, whom you don't feel that this is a genuine person I can share. If you don't have, that's totally fine. As I told, if you go into the bed, stand in front of the mirror, just shell out everything what has happened for yourself with only eye contact. When you are talking to yourself, make sure that you are contacting yourself with your eyes. There your energy is enhanced. Next. Tips for managing stress. See, I underlined that trying these ideas won't make all the stress in your life disappear. But they could make it easier to get through stressful situations. Next one. The first one is identify your triggers. You know what triggers you. The first and foremost is, we all know that what is a triggering one. One don't like spicy, one don't like hot. Simple concepts I'm just telling you. So triggers. So next one is organize your time. We all have got this 24 hours and we know a schedule. This is my professional life, this is my personal life. Then for whom, how I should give my time. Scheduling is very important. Then it's called as organizing your time well. Especially prioritizing you in your journey in this 24 hours, your mental health, your physical health, and then you can give your completeness for your family, your loved ones. Next is try to address some of your causes of stress. When I asked you, that's what the first when I started the session, I asked you all tell that what do you mean by stress in your perception? Many of you gave your perception, but many of you defined it. In general, many of you were able to define it. In your words I told, but many of you were able to define it. Hope you got this here. Accept the things you can't change. Some things you cannot change occur. There is things which can be changed, but there are certain things which we cannot change. For example, for some people, there will always be one such kind of imbalances, maybe who have got inherited from their generations. Such things you cannot change. Accept that in yourself firstly, not about others I am telling you. In yourself, there are certain things which cannot change and can change. Understand that changing things and which you can change, or cannot or can. Next is look after your well-being. What do you mean by well-being? The starting of the session I told.
Mentally, physically fit.
Mentally, physically fit, and coordinating with that. Physical exercises. How many of you all are doing? Okay, others, to make time. Don't tell that I don't have time. You have to make time for your well-being. And eating proper, nutritious food. At this age, we all need the nutritious food to maintain survival properly, to have the balanced well-being. Okay, don't be in a rat race. I know you all are running this rat race, but take a break, come back. You're not moving for anybody here. And if you go, also not going to get anything bigger. Bigger is you in your life, that's it. And next is build your support network. What do you mean by support network? Giving your phone and just going here and find a network. Is that your support network? As I told before? Yeah, friends. Who is that one person, just for one call, who is there to come and help you? If you don't get, that's okay, but I'm not written here to go and search. Build. How are you going to build? How are you going to attract such kind of people? If you are like that, you're going to attract the same tribe. Yes, Bhavu, that Bhavati. How I am, I want to attract the same person. If I am having a helping nature, I can attract the person who is having a helping nature. If I am not having that qualities, how can I attract others? So that is called a video support network. Take action in your community. What do you mean by that? For example, personal life. You want to maintain time management. You want to learn your kids. You want to make your kids to learn about discipline. Small example I am giving. Okay. So that firstly is you have to start. By seeing you, they are going to follow. That's what this community. Maybe in your personal life or professional life, whatever you want to make change, just take charge for yourself. Then you can invite into those communities. Next is support for causes of stress. What do you mean by support for causes of stress? For example, if I'm having a fever, if I feel that before I get a fever, before I'm caught up with cold or cough, my body signals. Yes or no, if you feel tired or something. So you might understand that yes, after 2 days or 1 day I'm going to get a fever. So you try with your home remedies, then you go for a doctor. Yes or no? Then you take medications and exercise. Still if it's not doing, then you are going to go with multiple blood reports, blood checks or whatever it is. In the same way here, support the causes. If your mental imbalances are not able to tackle from your end, there are young numbers of support systems like counselors, psychologists, psychiatrists, many people are there. You can try, go to them and interact with them and sort with your things. The firstly, as I told, home remedies you have to tell for yourself, okay, this is my stress. And you know the root causes of your stress, for what it is happening. When you are able to give the perception, when you are able to give definition of stress, you know what is stress is. You know what is bothering you in your life. So definitely when you are able to identify it, trust me, you can, the ideas are also there to overcome those things. Your mind, your subconscious gives you that. Consciously, only thing is you have to make an effort, that's it. So in amongst these one, I have explained a few things. Next. What are your identify, how you are going to identify triggers? Everything I have just kept it to dots here, I want to just tell. Issues that come up regularly and that you worry about, such as what? Regularly comes and you worry about such as what sort of things?
Children's education.
Okay. Apart from that, what it might be? Issues that come up regularly and you worry about, such as regular things. Okay, one given example, let's move on. On events that are on your mind a lot, like on and off movements happening. Most of you are physically present here. In mind, some of the things are on. Keep all of them on.
What to cook for dinner?
What to cook for dinner, yeah. Some people are very sure the breakfast also. Who wants breakfast? Yeah. Ongoing stressful events like what? Ongoing stressful events like. So these are the triggering points I have discussed here. You can go the dots, what are left. You can have proper examples. LSC. Remember that not having enough work, activities or change in your life can be just a stressful situation as having too much to deal with. As in the rat race, it's quite common, but identify that and first of all, as I told, identify it, rectify it, then you can have a solution for that. Next one. Organize your time. How to organize your time? Best time. Identify your best time. Maybe for some people, the best time will be early in the morning, before sunrise, or after sunset, or in the night, or what is that best time is 24 hours for you in your life. And in that best time, you have to do that what makes your soul happy. So that you will not come under this umbrella of stress. Next is make a list of things you have to do. Listing things. Okay, what is your priority? Let's all be in the present first. Future, we don't know what's going to happen in future. Past doesn't exist at all. Now you give them your love and support. Make it strong. Make the roots strong. Okay, build them as a build them physically, mentally strong. Next is set smaller, achievable targets, not bigger tasks at first. Next is vary your activities. What do you mean by vary your activities?
Don't do the same routine work.
Okay. Don't do the same routine work as a taking a break.
Yeah.
Vary your activities. Sometimes every time lemon rice is not okay. One day, what rice? Okay. So because in some houses there is a routine, but every Monday or Saturday it's upma, idli or something. Change it. Break the rule, change it. Vary your activities. As I told you, change your hairstyle, change your how the way you work. It enhances your mood set. Next is try not to do too much at once. And somebody was telling that Shruti was telling that tolerance. When you know that you are not able to tolerate, please put your foot down and tell no matter who is this, no, this is my thing, I can't do this. Stretch your hand. And please tell them no, I can't about this. Because you matter. Right? The choice is Yes. Next is take breaks and take things slowly. Don't be in a rush. If we all observe, we are not just doing a shallow breathing, that's it. Just I'm showing just it. Yeah, finally when we are minding our balance, normal breathing exercises. So, think slowly, just I'm saying don't bother yourself so much, okay? And when if you bother, you're bothering the people around you. And they feel that this mother and father is a Hitlers. Then trust me, they're going to shut off from you. They won't share anything from you. So if you want to have a proper relationship with your family first of all, like your professional life first of all, everything starts with them. Okay, so there where you just have a proper breaking time as a pause. You know what is your breaks, how your breaks matters. That's why already fixed chopping. Okay, next ask someone if they can help you. Okay. Just ask. Without asking one, you will just be telling that I should only cook, no, nothing. Just take, just go. God has given this beautiful mouth, no? The abilities, Almighty has given that. Just words, use the words. And there is way of talking. Can you please? Why this please? Sorry, excuse. Why these words are there? Use it wisely. Next one. Yeah, look after your well-being. I've written here. Be kind to yourself firstly. Don't compare yourself with anyone here. See, if you just see the DSI campus as an example here, each trees are different, each leaves are different. So everything is green. The same way, first of all, accept yourself. Okay? So accept yourself, accept your mental health or whatever it is, total overall acceptance of yourself. There where some of the space is there to welcome new things. Okay, don't have that unhealthy comparison of yourselves. Okay, the nature never compares, so that nature is always beautiful. If you want to compare with your progress, your health. Okay, last time when you have a blood check or something, maybe your health was not okay. Now you take care how you have to improve yourself. That is a comparison can give. Next is try to find time to relax. Please find time. Don't tell that, no, I don't have time to relax. Develop your interest and hobbies. I'm not written there cultivate. I'm not written there you have to just focus what you. If you don't have, keep on developing such kind of hobbies which enhances you. Next is spend time in nature. Nature and music, the universal healer. Spend time here, the people who have come outside. You have some greenery, or if you have some pets or animals, go or older people, or younger people, spend time with them. Okay. Next is look at your physical health and your mental health. Check on with those things every often. Next. Barriers to resilience. I want you all to just go through it. Before I spoke about how to manage stress and things, but I've also written here, and some ways of managing stress and building resilience are not always available to us. For example, you'll be in a meeting. You're so stressed, you can't listen to the music there. Instead, you have to calm. That's what breathing techniques are. You can just have that breathing exercises for yourself. So sometimes most of the stress release, what can I tell? Stress, if you want to come out of that stress, releasing techniques, it can't happen. But mindfully, if you can visualize and imagine, it will work. Yes. Such a beautiful, what is this flower? A national flower too. And what is the basic lesson we learn from this?
No matter what. Yes.
No matter what, whatever background you have to make sure that I have so make sure that no matter what I have want to achieve. Why Almighty has given only human life? He could have given animal or tree, no? Eating, sleeping, do and just go, that's all. Why? You all have achieved already, but still what? Is it enough? What? For what you are running behind, you all have to just think. So ultimately, we are born to shine. We are born to bloom. No matter what the circumstances, no matter what the stresses, we all have stresses. We all have traumas. We all have ups and downs in life. Sometimes life is a roller coaster road. Sometimes life is a cakewalk. For some people, every day is a cakewalk, every day is a roller coaster. Every people have their own stresses. Only thing is when you are able to have the stresses, you all know how to deal with that. It's all in your own hands. That's what I've written here. My advice would be if you're feeling stressed, be kind to yourself. Everything starts with you. It's all about a simple, small book. Virtual book of resilience to stress. As the time constraints, there is huge topic. This one is resilience to stress. No, it's a very huge topic. I don't know. If I start talking, I'll forget about myself. I keep on talking. This is the passion I'm driving. So this is what makes my soul happy. No matter what the burdens I have, no matter what the issues I have within, I totally forget because my soul is happy inside. It enhances my immunity, it enhances my happiness, it boosts my confidence. So when I walk out of the session, I just forgot everything what was bothering me because what happened before this 2 hours or something, I was completely involved, my mind was not thinking. I have understood that I'm not a multitasker person or if I can deal with that, I am able to. If not, no. So please at least once in a while, do things what your soul rejoices. Got it? Hope you all understood. Understood in the sense, I totally am able to sense that you all were there in the session. What's the time now? I know. Oh, 10 minutes already. So, that can everybody have those shapes? Please show the shapes. Most of the boards. And okay. No photography, sir. No, that's only you from that time. Okay, and one more small page you have, right? I want you to write one quote or one line for yourself. One line for yourself or one word for yourself. For yourself, only you, yourself. Don't write your names.
Relax yourself. Relax yourself. Relax yourself.
Okay. Wait. So everybody with your shapes, please, madam, you can with your shapes, show your shapes with a smiling face towards the camera. Yeah, with the shapes. Super. Sir. Okay. Super. Very nice thing. And the lines hope you all have written? Yes, for yourself? Yes. Pass those things. Pass the chips there. Pass. What you have written, no? Pass it. No, pass. Don't write the names. No need of writing the names. When you're, just pass. Don't write, just pass. Just pass. You're not reading. Exchange. Yeah. Give me Again, I should have given you all were given the 2 sheets. 60 bucks. We have the extra.
Ma'am, I am getting my seat.
So you all were given this 2 handouts, 2 small papers, and in one paper you all made a shape of your desired shape, and you didn't just see here and there. When I just told you all, just did it. And one more sheet was there, and you all wrote about yourself. How can you just combine this and give me a concept on what basis I'm talking?
This is both. The one thought I got from other it is relax.
Okay.
Both is whatsoever the situation, whether it is a storm or anything, it says, relax, it says that.
Super concept. Yes. Super. Yes, sir.
I made one book. They wrote whatever happens, life has to move on. So like madam,
life has to move on.
Okay. And I just received all the powers within me. I can achieve everything in my life. I just made it. I just posted everything.
Nice. Okay. Now everybody has got it written words, right? I want everybody to read out loudly, starting from Sagar. Sagar, just one more time. Everybody read it. But what is it? Relax. Okay.
All the powers within me.
Please
I can
listen.
achieve anything in my life.
Super. Applause. Please don't check no matter what. Please listen. Yes, sir.
no matter what, I can do it.
Very nice. Applause, please. Applause properly. Yes.
Always be happy.
Always be happy. Super. Applause. Never forget applause. Applause.
Become an eagle.
Become an eagle. Okay.
Smile at your feelings.
Smile at your feelings. Okay.
Just give this one. I love you.
About Valentine's. Please, I don't know Valentine's Day. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day. You tell that I'm very happy to listen that word, that I love you, man. What a beautiful concept of love. Love is all within. Love yourself. Love the way you are. Accept yourself. Man.
True to all.
True to all. Very nice. Sir.
Relax yourself.
Relax yourself.
What to write?
I got born to write. Like what to write, and still there is some dilemmas. Yes, sir.
Exploration.
Exploration.
Everything will happen for good only.
Everything happened for good only. Yes, ma'am.
Smile and
Smile.
and go ahead.
Go ahead.
Just do it.
Just do it. Super.
I don't want to change myself for the sake of others.
Super.
You are just keep doing.
Super.
Be happy and make others around you feel happy.
Happy man, happy life.
Super. Happy man or married?
Yes, live your life no matter of what you achieve, it is a past.
Okay, past, yes.
Always believe in yourself.
Thanks, man.
And you will
Whatever happens.
Yes, such a positive lines about yourself you all have written. I mean, just past, but still, it was all been written. So when all this positive happens, when stress comes, you know how to deal with it. And also with this shape, what you all made, as I told already, we all have got this chance from the universe as being taking birth as a human being. Apart from extra dramas, a family or professional life, what is that one thing keeps you happy and what is that one you want to give back? Please concentrate on it and use it wisely. As you all made the shapes right, using your abilities you can create your life. Still, whatever you want to aspire, it's all in your hands. Manifestations, as I told subconscious, keep on telling for your subconscious what you want to become or what your kids, whatever it is, whatever you want to manifest, it's all in your hands. It's for all of us, the chances being given. By saying this, I'm going to end my talk. Thank you all of you for the beautiful participation. And I thank Sumati ma'am. Sugandhi ma'am. I thank Savita ma'am for coordinating for the session and my humble and heartfelt thanks for HOD sir and the principal and the management secretary sir for everyone. And at last, never the least, for all the participants here, lovely smile and lovely energy, and may always be with you in every walks of life. Stress is always there, deal with it and move on, that's it. Thank you so much. Any questions, please let me know.
It's not a question, but I like to suggest to all one book. That is IQ, SQ and EQ. Most of my colleagues know it as being negative. IQ is intelligent quotient, EQ is emotional quotient, and SQ is spiritual quotient.
Now it has been started actually. Before it was spiritual quotient was not there. Yes,
So one example I like to give is a person who is having a good IQ, he may able to crack JEE and they may go to IIT, he may be the topper. If his emotional balance is not so good, he may commit suicide also, or he may go for depression also. So, and at the same time, none of the animals or none of the birds build a temple. So it's only human being that is they are the one who always worship God, and whenever see you are telling about the stress or anything in the life. So there is a God, they seek a help, right? So it's all three things are very, very important. One is IQ is also very important, essential. Along with that, when you are able to have a good IQ, you don't have the emotional balance, that's a waste.
Yes.
And if you have both IQ and EQ, and if you are able to balance it in a properly, definitely spiritual is much needed. Like it's not about worshiping anything. It's about
being yourself, nurturing yourself, taking care of yourself, especially for your kids who's having kids at home. Try to build them strong, emotionally strong first. Because IQ, what is IQ? Intelligent quotient, as ma'am was just telling, because many of the clients or many of the parents or many of the scenarios or sessions or examples I'm just facing is, it's all the problem about the adults or the generations now, because parenting is tougher task now. It's very tough. So one thing you all have to make sure, please build your child with such kind of emotional strength. No matter what, the child has to come to you and tell that, yes, my parents are there, I can go and shell out with them, whatever is happening with me. And studies, it's all comes second. The first is skills. Try to try to make them to understand their skills and make them to understand how the importance of brushing up the skills. It's rightly important. And spiritual quotient is all about being in your space. If you, at least before going to the bed today, if you have a space, time, please make sure have a proper breathing exercise. Let your exhalation be more than your inhalation. If you breathe in for 3 times, let your exhalation or breathe out, let it be for 5 times. There where the cleansing happens, there where you understand. That's a beautiful aspect what Almighty has given. That beautiful air goes inside, comes out. There where this life is there. Thank you bringing for that concept, ma'am. The spiritual quotient, it was not there. Now it is being introduced. Okay, so yes. Any questions or any feedbacks would you like to share? And it was, for me, I'm feeling it was like a Hari session because it's not me. It was like always like, yeah, any other feedbacks or questions for me? If you be silent, I'll also be silent like this one.
Much needed session. Actually, everything was running parallelly. The classes have started at FDP, so many things to learn. So it was like a break for us. From here.
Others?
Well, that's the reason I just brought it this time, because we conduct FDP every semester. One of the time this program was organized. When I told when this plan was happening, I told them at least one session I was just. So that's the reason this program came. You said it's like a stress buster. It's good to have this.
Thank you, sir. Others who have come from outside, because DSI people have seen me here in the session, the faculties who have come from outside. Would you like to share some thought?
Yeah, this is a stress buster session. Entire day we are here, we heard about the technical tasks. Now we feel very relaxed.
Thank you, sir.
Actually, you are saying many things, but whatever the partner, so we are mind. So our 6 days we came here. After 6 days, Monday we will go for regular routine. After the training work happened like that, then we have, then like that we have feel stress in academic wise. But in family wise, we can maybe understand by the family situations. So why I need to come here 6 days? When family support, we can hear now. So like that, the stressful thing happen by the day, but it happen for the every day. So if 1 day happen, we can move on, break now, we can go for next day. But every day happen means the life, small clear will happen always in the mind. When it will happen, so why the life is like that we will have in the mind.
Part and parcel of life. The stresses are. Until you are there, these all things are there. Imbalances are there. So others, so the outside from their side. Sorry, sir, I have not seen you. Sir? I've seen him, I don't want. So ma'am, there.
Yeah, this was a very useful session where one has to focus on their own well-being. No matter what happens in our life, if you are not well, if you are not fit, we can't do anything else. So that's it. It was a very nice session.
So others.
One thing I wanted to say, you explained the mental illness is also one like the physical illness. Many people, but in work environment, we can say physically I'm having a headache, that is, but sometimes we'll be totally not able to do something. But if so no, we can't think more than full of technical things or work. So that is also can be addressed. What's it? So that everybody will have. If they are telling I don't have means I feel it is their life. So, but that also can be shared. I used to share with my family members.
Yes, it has to be shared, ma'am. Whatever it is, you can't deal with that your own things. As I don't know that one person in your life whom you can just trust and tell. Yes, you can go and tell.
So we'll feel very hard.
Relaxed.
Relaxed
When you are venting out. Venting out. There are 2 types. There are another types of venting out. One cry, one just go and transfer that stress to the family where their brain is not such kind of
we should not be scolding our family members. Sometimes we can have
Yes.
Actually, kids. Actually, I want to tell. Everybody told us kids don't show anger. Kids now showing anger to kids. If we
let's all resolve. Simply, if we
we ask them to sit next to us, otherwise talking to them itself, they will make us good. One time I was depressed, I told some word to my son, he told, change the perspective only. Amma, you think like this. That made me happy. So they are my stress busters.
Super. So that's what we all have the stress busters in our life. Only thing is we all have to understand that yes, it's there.
Everybody should have their kids actually. According to
Firstly, we have to hug ourselves.
But we should have our kids. We should not threaten them. We should sit next to them.
Hugging is what is nothing but the energy transferring. Because kids are like happy souls.
And if my kids are not good, they will tell, Amma, shall we go for walking? That means they want to share something with me. So it is good.
Giving that space for them is super.
Everybody should not scold. Husband or wife is not to scold. I will share.
No, the space should be given to everyone.
Each and every, that's what each and every person is like, the space is required.
So manifestation is the best thing. Journaling. Just write down everything or just put everything into the words and keep it for yourself. I think that is books is our journaling is our best friend.
That's what starting
that should be only the books.
That's what in the initial stages of the session I told, if you're not able to take a book and write, visualize it, think that you're writing and just imagine that imagination is having a superpower. You can just imagine that you're writing a book. It's going to happen. It is sent to the universe. The manifestations and journaling, everything is done. Yes, ma'am. DSI. The newly joined. Okay, the newly joined people, please share your experiences.
It was a good session. Like we laughed, like.
Okay. Sir.
Newly joined.
Sir, that ma'am was also there. You enjoyed, sir? Yes. Okay. Ma'am, outside DSI? Because I'm not DSI.
No, everyone told.
See, nothing is no stress. Okay, ma'am, so you are ready to prepare biryani today? Okay, so any others?
Not the same room generally happens. That is only experience. This session everyone spoke.
Normally in your session we used to play games, but this time
because of the time, sir. That's what I told.
Sports is a very good stress buster.
Physical activities. Okay, then thank you all. Wishing you all a happy weekend and enjoy your life. I'm already the 2026 Feb. It's already the bit of Feb. So just time is just going just like this. So enjoy life and be practical enough to deal with your own things. Thank you so much. So thank you. So we'll take a group photo after this.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the insightful talk on resilience to stress. Your practical guidance and inspiring message were truly valuable and well received by the participants. We sincerely appreciate your time and contribution. Now I invite the head of the department to deliver the
So thank you everyone. Yeah, the group photo. One sir, just I don't know, he's outside.
Giving the mobile.
skill of Rahul sir. Take attendance meter.
Anybody can just tell how many sort of flowers would you be able to see there? Colors, flowers, sceneries in the presentation. 6. Colors? How many colors? Okay, we'll finish them. Papa, he's just trying. Okay. Done. I was just talking. Is it okay now? Thank you. So nature will be ready. Okay.